85,
90.
90, 95.
We're playing for keeps. We're on the market. Stay strong, sir. Sold! Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 18th of November. My name's Philip Kingston.
It is, and I'm Gary Pearce.
Gary, we are absolutely now just in countdown mode. 4 weekends to go. This is like the home straight at Flemington, where we're not on one of your horses, but we're actually on a good horse that is heading towards the finish line, and we are out in front. Clearly we're out in front because we sold 85% of our auctions, Gary. You're going to give me a number in a moment.
Yes, 22 of 26.
22 from 26, Gary, gives us an 85% clearance rate when the industry was
66 and 68% according to Domain
call
and
it
REA.
67 then. Let's go in the middle. 67% industry, 85% Gary Pearce. Heading down the straight, we don't even need our whip, Gary, because we're just up. We're up on our toes.
Hands and heels, they call
just
it, Phil.
going so beautifully.
Hands and heels.
We're just
to use the way to
completely
do it.
in rhythm here. We're just completely in rhythm. And a shout out to the team that are the jockeys of all of our houses that are just bringing it home.
Put up the towers, Phil, because that is, and some Bose music, because that is a very solid weekend, Phil. And we were very busy, very busy out there and about.
I'm exhausted just with that introduction.
Well,
but
you'll
Gary,
need your energy. You've got a big weekend coming.
But Gary, in the interests of transparency, both to our viewers and to you, I have a confession to make.
Is it dirty and sordid?
My life is, I'm squeaky,
Okay.
I'm squeaky clean, Gary. But I do want to say this to you in the interest of transparency, because we've had the most amazing partnership, and I don't want anything to get in the road of that. Therefore, transparency is everything. I took a freebie from somebody that we're involved in, and you weren't part of that freebie.
I don't know what's happened, but I'm upset about it
I'm
already.
going to tell you, I'm going to put my glasses on, Gary, because I do want to draw into this. In this in the quarterly edition of the the Gary Peer Review. The Gary Peer Review, the peer review that everybody's getting. A quality magazine.
Everyone's talking about it.
Comes out 4 times per year. We've got a spring racing edition with, what's your...
Danny O'Brien.
Danny O'Brien
How
is
do
on
you
the
not
front.
know that?
Danny O'Brien's on the front.
He is.
But we have started reviewing restaurants in that, Gary.
Oh, you have.
And we reviewed a restaurant called Omnia, and I'm looking at it on my screen at the moment.
They offered me to go there for a meal, and you took it, didn't you? You bloody...
So, Gary,
meal thief. He's a meal thief.
They've comped us.
Hang on. Who's the us now?
Me and Irene.
Yeah. How about that? He's a meal thief.
So we reviewed them, and just in the interest of
I'm going there on the company account, and I'm going to be drinking up big,
in the interest
eating up big. I'm charging
of transparency, we did the review before we got the complimentary meal. So the review is legit. So peer review, the latest edition, Danny O'Brien on the front, review of Omnia. All I can tell you, Gary, I went there. It's in Chapel Street, corner of Chapel Street and Turok Road.
I haven't eaten there.
I went there knowing it was a good restaurant.
Yes.
But I was quite shocked at the quality of the food, because I knew it was going to be good.
Shocked in a good way?
No, shocked in a good way, because I went there with reasonable expectations, and I came out going, that meal was incredible. Now, you're a man that likes his steak.
Well, steak and schnitzel, Phil.
Well,
that's it.
there was
Simple
no
guy.
schnitzel on the menu,
Well, they
but,
can add it.
but I can tell you now, I reckon, and I eat steak. I love a good steak.
Well, Marble is my go-to steak place.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do a review of them and they'll give us a complimentary meal.
They'll give me a complimentary meal.
But I've got to tell you, first of all, the service was incredible.
Yep.
Secondly, it was Jazz Wednesday or Thursday. Go online.
Do a little dance.
Go online, viewers, because they had a jazz quartet playing.
Oh,
that
like
was...
that.
It was just fantastic. It just added to this sense of theatre. So beautiful fit out.
Yep.
Beautiful meal.
Yep.
Jazz quartet.
Yep.
The service.
I'm scared what they gave you, because this is the biggest review. I recken there must have been, I don't know, was there a bag of cash on the table or something?
Service
this is
was
terrible.
The service was incredible.
Yep.
And I'm just going to say this, Gary. 625 Chapel Street, South Yarra. The culinary director, Stephen Nairn, and head chef, Evan Doherty. shout out to you. It was
Are
magnificent.
they discounting our clients that come as a result of GPTV?
But I reckon if somebody goes in there and makes a booking and says, by the way, I'm here because of the review on GPTV, I reckon there'll be a free dessert or a glass of wine
or a cup of coffee or
something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or, you know, a fresh napkin.
What an ad. Anyway.
But no, I'm saying this because we don't review stuff much.
No, we don't.
And it's not just because I got a complimentary meal. It was delicious.
The steak looks good on the screen there.
It was delicious. The steak was
it looks
incredible.
really, really good.
Food was amazing.
Phil, I don't know how we got onto that, but, you know, there's a few things I want to talk about. One of them is, you know, I want a midnight auction, right? I've always said, I want that midnight. I'm going to do it. Before I get out of it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I actually did the closest thing to it, Phil.
I'm not sure we want to publicly talk about this.
It's fine. I did a 1 a.m. inspection, Phil. Now, you know, I think that there's not enough of this. And you would remember the great Peter Shellard, the great late Peter Shellard. There was an agent in the 80s, his name's Peter Shellard. I liked him. He was eccentric.
Totally
he was
eccentric.
Interesting fellow. But
fascinating man.
People would find him in their garden at midnight and 9 and 10 o'clock, showing
up
buyers through. Showing buyers through. So he had this kind of, like us, a bit of a crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
And you know, he probably, sadly, didn't end his things
met an interesting ending.
Interesting ending, but I liked him. I thought he was an interesting and intelligent fellow. But anyway, I have done my first 1 a.m. inspection, and it's no secret. And look, people employ us because of our connections, Phil. And we have a wide group of people we're connected with. And I happened to be out with somebody, and I said to the person I was out with, they were talking about a property, and I said, I've got it. So I went at 1 a.m. with the buyer.
So,
I won't say anything more.
I'm going to fit. I'm
but I
going
don't
to
want you to say anything out of school.
I'm going to put a bit more information. These two men were out having a good time. Everything's completely straight here,
clean,
right?
Clean time,
But they were out, and on your way home, which is 1 a.m. midweek.
Yeah.
It's just not normal behaviour, but welcome to the Austrian peers who somehow think that
we like to
anybody
go
that goes
evening,
to bed before 3 a.m. in the morning is not a normal person.
No, we don't understand that.
Anyway, that's every night of the week, by the way.
I found a crazy person, took him to this apartment, said this fits exactly
at 1
what you want.
in the morning.
And lo and behold, on Sunday, that apartment was sold to that particular buyer. So there you go. And I told the vendor, it was all very disclosed, and it was, you know, at the top of the range, and it was all fine. But I said, look, this person, I've taken them this time. The vendor looked at me and thought, I'm really happy that I employed you as my agent, I think. I'm not sure who does that. But anyway, congratulations to buyer and seller alike.
There's no question that's commitment. But for the other residents of that building, hopefully you put the key in the door very quietly.
Well, I was a little bit nervous because it was dark, that I might be putting the key in the wrong door for a moment, Phil, and I thought, someone's going to come out with a big, you know, with a baseball bat and just start beating me and asking questions later. So I put the key in and I thought, I hope this is the right door. I'm sure it is.
You know what?
As it turned out, it was. Anyway,
it was vacant. There's one side of me that goes, wow, that's
respect.
Total commitment, total respect. There's another thing that says to me,
who am I business with here?
It's just wrong, but right.
Yeah, wrong but right. Phil, now we talked last week, you clued in, and as you know, I'm the see-through, follow-through guy. You're the guy that, you know, throws the ideas in the room and then runs and leaves everybody scratching their head.
Correct.
So as a follow-through guy, we talked last week about...
I can't even think what I said that you'd be folling through on.
Builders reports, Phil.
Yes, okay.
I knew I said that look, that light went off, you know.
That's it.
Because I love that look, because he'll say something, forget about it, and I'll bring it up and I'll be like, oh, it's a whole rebirth of the idea that he knew about already that he wanted to remind you about. So, builders reports, Phil. Now, there's builders reports and builders reports, and I think this is a topic that, you know, I think deserves some discussion. It's topical, it's interesting, because, you know, a builder can say, you need restumping. Now, restumping can be a small job, it can be a very big job, Phil. But builders are paid and are meant to find issues, aren't they?
Yes.
But we've had an issue recently where we've had a number of builders reports for the same property. And there was not one, but two, but three building reports
from three different builders
on the same property. One said, this is not that difficult to fix, it's a $30,000 to $50,000 fix. The other builder report said, oh, this is pretty serious. You know, this could be $100 grand. And the third one is like, that's $150,000. This is a big problem. So, what does that leave you with? I mean, where does that leave you in terms of understanding how to interpret a building report?
So I've got one comment about all of that.
You've got more than one.
Is that if you think about it, we've sold tens of thousands of properties.
We have.
There was a time where maybe 1 in 50 got a building report.
That's right.
So, I think this changed about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
so
it became a standard now,
prior to that, 1 in 50 got a building report.
They did.
And if you think about the thousands of properties that we'd sold up until that point, I don't recall anybody buying a property, moving in, and then ringing us later and going, you know what, we found a major defect to this property. I think that if you're an educated buyer, and what's an educated buyer? Somebody that's looked at more than 10 properties.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you go from property to property, you do see the pitfalls and the problems. It's so unusual that to find a problem that doesn't that can't
massive,
be easily fixed
and cheap and reasonably
that you can't see, right?
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, not that we're saying to people don't get a building report because in one way that's irresponsible, but even still, most things in the context of the purchase are relatively trivial. And when I say that, I mean, if you buy a property, for example, for $2 million, and at some point in the next 10 years you have to spend $50,000 fixing a problem, I'm not being flippant with the $50,000, but in context, it's a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
And to find even brand new properties have got problems. I mean, that's the nature of houses. Well, they do require constant upkeep.
The purchaser of a brand new property has some protection.
Well, okay, a 10-year-old property, which is still you'd regard as newish.
Well, I mean, personally, I think it's a good idea. But I think
to get a builder's
I think it's a good idea.
But not to be scared away.
No, I think you've got to ask a lot of questions about what you're told.
Yes.
And it's funny because an inexperienced buyer who goes and gets a builder's report can be very anxious.
Yes.
Can get a report that will scare them away from even moving forward.
Yeah.
But 2 or 3 properties later, they've got another building report and they realise, hang on, there's something going on here. That every property I'm looking at's got a problem. Well, no, it's not every property you're looking at. It's just that every property has got a problem.
Yeah.
That's why you get a building report.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how big the building report issue is as to whether you want to follow it up.
And a good building inspector should really be saying, look, in context here, you might need to replace the ducted air conditioning system. Well, you're not pulling out all the ducts, it's just the hardware, right?
Yeah.
And it might be, well, it probably is on its last legs, but you might get 3 or 4 years out of it. So, and then you get a brand new system.
Which you're probably going to get anyway.
Exactly.
So beware the building report. Love the building report, but also beware and just don't necessarily take it for granted because sometimes it isn't all that it's cracked up to be.
Okay, so we've talked about transparency. I've had a free meal. You've talked about the builder's inspection.
And my 1 a.m. inspection.
Now, can we just get into the fact that we sold 22 out of 26, 85% clearance.
Let's
review some sales,
and
Gary.
review some offerings. Phil, before we talk about the weekend that was, because there were some great results, some exciting results.
There were.
Look, I know you're very impatient about reviewing this home. We usually do it at the end, or we do it after we review our weekend's auctions. But
too good to wait for, Gary.
Okay,
have a look at
impatient.
this. Have a look at this home, number 18 Avenel Road, Kooyong. This is about as good an offering as you could ever get. Forget the spring market. Just talking in 2025, I'm not sure there is a better home on the market with this level of accommodation. Firstly, we've got 5 bedrooms. We've got 4 bathrooms. We've got a basement car park for 4 cars, or even more if they're tiny. You've got a swimming pool, Gary. You've got a home theatre. You've got multiple living zones. And the cleverness to this house is they've got a sitting room that could morph into a separate apartment because it's got a little kitchen and a fully self-contained area. So I think this could be the standout home of 2025. 18 Avenel Road, Kooyong is coming up for auction, but you really need to inspect this home because it's as good as it gets.
A stunning home of standards that would be internationally recognised,
Yep,
I think.
I would agree totally.
The block of apartment experts that we are, Philip.
We are.
Sales of blocks of apartments, we love them. We could be at 150 blocks now.
We will put up on the screen how many when we do a fact check, but I think it's in that order.
Yep. We will, and we've done 2 last week, Phil. We've done number 1 to 10 at 4 Rothschild Street, Glenhuntly. This terrific property didn't quite make it to auction, did it, Phil? But it was sold
prior to auction. Price is undisclosed, Gary. But there was another sale in Southey Street. Have a look at this facade view.
I love that block, Phil. And the vendors, one of the vendors said, they felt a bit teary about selling it because this really was a legacy, block that the family had owned. There were tenants in this block who'd been there for 50 years
Incredible.
and 30 years. I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, when you look at those apartments and you look in
Yeah.
the interior, it was just a magic
I mean,
property.
I went to the upstairs front apartment there and I thought, this would be so joyous to live here.
Beautiful.
You know, beautiful views, great art, curved walls.
And
just
the,
had it all.
and the tenant, or should we say renter,
Yes.
the renter there is just a lovely person that's just
Yes.
looked after the property as if it's hers.
So a couple of blocks there sold, Phil, both undisclosed, but both certainly popular. Quoted, I won't say the end price because they were both sold for beyond, but
Yes.
they both quoted it well into the threes, Phil. Phil, another interesting auction was, we love the Twilight auction, and boy, did we have some fun at number 1, Fox Street, Phil. And
FOCH Street in Ormonds.
Phil,
I've got to tell you, Gary, what a beautiful house. Magic from the moment you pull up. You can see this really pretty facade, but you go inside, it's just this gorgeous renovation, which is both modern and sympathetic at the same time. North-facing back garden. Twilight auctions, we love them. Thursday evening, Wednesday evening, Tuesday
and
evening.
And it was the perfect twilight
6
weather.
o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Now that daylight savings is almost upon us. Well, is it daylight saving now yet? Or?
Oh, are you serious?
I can't remember when it came in or when it came out, but at the end of the day, if it's here, if daylight savings here, I'm just loving the
If there is
evenings.
a neurologist watching at the moment that can offer some assistance to Mr. Kingston, is it daylight savings? That is the sign of that. That's scary.
May well
That's
be.
scary.
Now
That's
I
scary.
do remember that we are bringing it in.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, what's your name?
I'll tell you what. Stay tuned. I tell you, some of our competitors are watching this and they're saying, finally, finally.
They'll be playing
there's
that
lots
in a
of
listing
finally.
presentation.
Oh, yeah, weren't they?
Yeah.
Philip Kingston doesn't even know when daylight savings are.
It is middle November, isn't it?
Anyway,
when did it come in?
Fox Street, Ormond. What a great auction, Phil.
Yes.
And Leon Guzenfitter, I spoke to him the day of that auction. He said, look, the market's a bit all over the place. It's hard to really pick what's happening. He goes, but if Fox Street doesn't go well...
Yeah, he did say
He said,
this,
well,
yeah.
if Fox Street doesn't go well, if Fox Street doesn't go well, I don't know what the Fox Street is happening, Phil, because really it was very, very, compelling that should do well in the market. And it did.
And we did have some really good
done.
competition.
Congratulations.
On that.
And you did a good call, Phil.
Thank
you did
you.
a good call. And you've gone from Ormond to Brighton Easter and Bruce Street, Phil. We've got a couple of properties in Bruce
We
Street,
do.
Brighton
Well, we
East,
only
don't
have one now because one is sold
One down, one to go.
and one to go. And the one that's available is an incredible home with huge accommodation, lots of car
We'll get onto
accommodation,
that.
really good. I love Bruce Street.
Yes.
Beautiful tree-lined street. I talked about the street canopy and the location there. Beautiful.
Brighton East, we always do so well there, but this
that
one, Phil,
pocket.
2.2 to 2.4 was the range. It was sold in the range, undisclosed price. Phil, 388 Alma Road. Well, you know, it's no secret that that's somebody who was selling that I'm friendly with. I've many times plays cards at that home, Phil.
Yep.
And that vendor, congratulations, did a beautiful job in presenting that. Spent quite a bit of money to get it in best saleable state, Phil. And that was really popular. Sold to someone from Paran, as it turned out. A local was the underbidder, and it was a strong auction with 3 good bidders, Phil. So congratulations to buyer and seller alike. Went over the range. It was a little bit of a runaway train. A little bit.
I think,
anyway,
well, by the way,
no, we're keeping that going.
Editor's
No.
note, can we dump the runaway train
No,
next
we're not.
year? 'Cause
We're not.
it's
We are
like-
keeping it
it's
going.
so
Unless if people say
tedious
they don't,
and old-fashioned.
give us some feedback.
Let me tell you, I'll be sending in some from some anonymous.
Yeah, exactly right. I want feedback.
Tori, could you send in from any one of my scam email accounts that I do run? Just send in. It's old-fashioned. It's stupid and it's
fantastic.
tedious.
We love
and
it, and
matches,
I'd like some
matches your bushy eyebrows.
I'd like some genuine feedback, viewer feedback. 5613 Goodman Road, Phil. That was the 1 a.m. inspection, Phil, that was sold as a result of that. And I run all of our agents up at 1 a.m. opening properties. Last one, 21 Bent Street, Caulfield South, Phil.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about that. That was sold for 1705, just over the range.
Yes, Gary, and nice competitive bidding there in $1,000 increments from about 1.5.
I had that too.
So I did pull up a bit sore after
Yeah, I
that
had
auction.
that.
Thanks, guys, for making my job so easy.
I had that in Newland Street. Congratulations to the vendor. They watch GPTV.
Yes,
so congratulations for the
shout out to
vendors
them.
of that. Thank you for the opportunity. Great to see that popular, Phil. And I've got to tell you, it was a morning auction at 11:30, and I'm glad I didn't have a 12:30 because I had to have a little bit of a coffee and a bit of a pump up because there was
That's right.
lots of
That's what
$1,000.
caffeine's for.
Lots of
Caffeine was
$1,000 bids.
invented for real estate agents.
Yep, 3
Now,
bidders
let's
for that.
talk about what's coming up this weekend, Gary. How many auctions?
One sale I want to talk about. I missed it last week. What's wrong with
You're
you?
finding a way to drag us out today.
Just because you've got,
I've got
you know,
things
you
to
have
do.
anxiety.
I've got
my problem.
I've got things to do.
Oh, you've got nothing to do.
We don't want to turn this into an hour's
You're
show.
not going to get another haircut. You had one this week already. 8 Crimea Street, Phil. Sold it last week. I have to say, first time, well, I live next door and you lived across the road, so it's close to our hearts, but this is the first time this home has been sold, Phil, in 80 years. It was sold in pounds the last time it was sold.
Shame to the vendors for keeping that so long. You might
it's bad for business,
exactly.
But it's a beautiful sentimental sale.
Those vendors, really, if everybody did that, we would not have a show.
That's very true. But anyway, congratulations.
Now can we talk about how many auctions this weekend,
we've got
Gary?
lots coming up. Let's review them. Now, I think we're in 10 or 11 or 12 suburbs on Saturday, Phil. We are kicking off in Balwyn North. We love it in Balwyn North, and we're there at 10 a.m.
I love this house, Gary. It sits on 961 square metres of land. This is a big, bold home, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, super large parcel of land, which accommodates a pool and a garden.
Leo Samuel running with that one. Phil, I have got the opportunity and I get to auction this wonderful apartment in Toorak, Philip, in Orang Road, Toorak. I'm excited.
Gary,
Joel Sir's been there.
This is Kilpara. This is a local landmark. Joel Sir and Reno Peb-Ilore. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 basement car spaces. That's a great apartment and a fantastic spot.
You can have a little sleep in, Phil, because your first auction is not till 11:30. But not Graham Callan, the birthday boy. It was his birthday yesterday. Yep. He's going to be at 45B Wright Street, McKinnon, auctioning this terrific home.
Meeting Alex Stupa there. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, courtyard gardens. Like that property, and we love Wright Street, McKinnon.
You kick off your weekend auctions, Philip, meeting Lisa Alberts and Mark Kirkham. Yep. Number 7, Marvoo Street in Hughesdale.
Garrett, love this house. This house is incredible, and you can walk to Chadstone Shopping Centre from there. This is a standalone home, not attached, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, wraparound garden areas. Congratulations to the vendors on the most incredible new build.
Leo Samuel, Phil, he is like one of the Leyland brothers. Phil, he's travelling around the countryside. He's going from Balwyn North to Glen Waverley, this time 4 Kennedy Street, Glen Waverley, meeting Christian de Vries
there and Dizzy Wang. What a great property that is. Sits on 767 square metres of land, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of opportunity there.
Now, I'm looking forward to meeting Joel Sir. I've been to this apartment, Philip. This is 1 at 135 Booran Road, Caulfield South, my 11:30 auction.
Meeting Joel and Reno there, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautiful garden area. That's a real bonus. That's a fabulous apartment.
Phil, there is a silent E at the end of the name of this street, so it's not called Horney Street, it's called Horn Street, and Jeremy Rosens is auctioning 7 at 39.
Gary, Nikki Janova is going to be meeting Jessica Filipovic there. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a further car space in front, and you can walk to the tram in Glen Huntly Road, you can walk to the train station in Glen Huntly Road, and of course you can walk to the classic cinema.
We've got triple auction action at 12:30, Phil. You've got the absolute honour of being in Regent Street, Elstree, meeting Joel Sir, this terrific home.
And Liam Elbaum there. That is a stunning property, Gary. That is just beautiful in every way. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and of course, everything that I just said about Horn Street, you can do from Regent Street because you are epicentre, Golden Mile, Elstonwick.
Phil, I've got the opportunity of auctioning at 12:30. I'm meeting Viv Samuel. This terrific property, 6A Winalta Road, Carnegie. Now, Phil, I've been into this home. It is a wonderful town residence, beautifully presented. It's spacious and has got a lot of lovely features.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, another car space, and you're also meeting Lydia Perry.
Phil, 12:30, Jeremy Rosens will be in North Road, Ormond with Leo Barr.
And Johnny Sweepo. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 secure car space, a storage cage, and you can walk to the absolute cafe lifestyle of North Road and the train station.
Happiness is a beautiful period home in Elstree, Philip, and we're going to experience happiness together. I'm going to join you in Liscard Street at 1:30 p.m.
Joel Sir, Benjamin Rothschild. This is a stunning home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking there, and it is a stunning street, and again we call that epicentre, Golden Mile, Elstonwick.
Leo Samuel back in his hood at 1:30 in Shepperson Avenue, Carnegie.
Meeting Leo and Dizzy Wang there, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a pretty as a picture home, this beautiful parcel of land, a great home that you can move straight into, further potential.
At 2:30, Phil, Leo keeps his auction show going. He's going to be 1 at 89 Oakley Road, Carnegie.
Meeting Izzy Anstey there, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, courtyard gardens. Love that property, and Oakley Road, Carnegie is a wonderful, wonderful place to live.
This has been really popular, Phil, and I've been very busy with a lot of villas. I'm going to be busy with this one at 2:30 in Mackay Avenue, Glen Huntly.
I reckon this is as good as it gets in the price range, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, lots of garden area, a double lock-up garage, not a single. That is a wonderful property where you're going to be meeting Leon Guzenfitter and John Sweepo.
Phil, we've got a busy Sunday. We're kicking off at 10:30am. I'm going to be meeting Arlene Joffe and Daniel Peer in Marriott Street, Caulfield.
What a great property. Brilliant address. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a tandem garage for 2 cars, courtyard garden areas. Love that property. Love Marriott Street.
Part of that 10:30 groove continues. Philip Leo Samuel's going to be in Glenira Road, Caulfield North, auctioning this terrific unit.
Meeting Izzy Anstey there. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a lock-up garage. Affordable way to get into the market. That is a really good home.
14483 Kooyong Road is the 10:30 auction that Jeremy Rosens is doing for Daniel McMucker.
Meeting also Morris Bisson there. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. That is great entry level for both first home buyers and investors. Like that apartment, and it's got a great floor plan.
I love this property, Philip, in Westbury Grove. It's a great looking property with so much potential, 2 street frontage, and we are meeting together there to auction this at 11:30am.
Meeting Idan Gutman and Bernard Mell. This is 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking. Gary, it has a 2 street frontage as you talked about, 645 square metres of land, an immaculate home that could be a development site subject to council approval.
And at the same time at 11:30 there's another auction East St Kilda, this time in Lansdowne Road, Jeremy Rosen's auctioneer.
Leo Bar and Leon Guzenfitter have had the honours there. What a gorgeous terrace stroke courtyard that property has. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a secure car space. That is a standout, and don't we love that address?
Don't we love 6 Labassa Grove in the Golden Mile of Caulfield Northfield? We've kept 12:30 free for both of us to be at this auction.
Gary, this property sits on 812 square metres of the best land, and don't we love Labassa Grove? Arlene Joffe and Daniel Peer have had the honours there. It's a 1960 mid-century classic home that's just waiting for somebody to bring some imagination to transform that property into something extraordinary.
At 1:30pm we've got double auction action. Phil, you're going to be in Northcote Avenue selling this terrific unit.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a double lock-up garage. Leon Guzenfitter and Vanessa McGlynn have had the honours there. That is immaculate, been beautifully refurbished throughout. Stunning home that you can move straight into, and Northcote Avenue, a great address.
I'm also auctioning a stunning home at 1:30, Phil. This one's in Balaclava Road. I love the facade and it's been beautifully finished off inside.
Very schmick, this property, Gary. You're going to be meeting Daniel Peer and Rodney Skolnick there. Check out the back garden and the timber deck and the way it just kind of amphitheatres down into the back garden. That is an amazing property. I love it.
Nice wrap there, Phil. 2:30 is going to be an auction at 4 at 8 Meadow Street, Phil. I love this block. We've auctioned successfully in there already this year. I'm meeting Darren Crongold there with Reno Pabloro.
And Gary, this building is a beautiful kind of period style building.
Deco-ish.
It wraps itself around a kind of common garden. So your sense of arrival there is magnificent.
40 Moore Street is where you'll find Leo Samuel auctioning for Arlene Joffe and Daniel Peer. That's happening at 2:30.
Gary, we love this address and we love the opportunity there. This is a wonderful parcel of land of 618 square metres. Doesn't get much better than this. That is an amazing property.
42 College Street is our final Sunday auction, Philip. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to this home. I know Daniel's been there with Romy, and this is something really special, and it brings down a busy weekend.
Well, College Street is a great address, isn't it, Gary? Romy Skolnick, Daniel Peer have had the honours here. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, further street, off-street car parking, swimming pool indoors, which is just perfect in Melbourne, and you can walk to everywhere. Glen Huntly Road, Elstonwick, and Martin Street and Gardenvale Road. That is an amazing address.
Phil, 1 Wando Grove is going to be auctioned this time next week, Tuesday afternoon. Tell us a bit about this property, Phil.
Well, Gary, this is an amazing opportunity to buy a parcel of apartments sitting on 1,286 square metres of GRZ land with no heritage overlays. So this is an amazing property. Comes with a passing income of over $250,000. That is an extraordinary opportunity.
Interesting property. I'm looking forward to that auction next week, Phil. That brings down the curtain on a busy weekend and week, but we have got some other properties to review. Phil, I am in love with this great block of apartments in Westbury Street. Beyond this fantastic Art Deco facade, there is a great investment or perhaps development opportunity waiting.
That is a ripper, Gary. Daniel McMucker and Matthew Morley have been handling that, so look out for 107 Westbury Street.
Look out, yes.
Check out this house at number 250 Buran Road, Ormond, Gary. What a stunning home. I've done the video tour there. Darren Crongold and Benjamin Rothschild have been handling that property. It is a stunner, sits on 633 square square metres of land. Move straight in and get on with life.
How's that for a showpiece?
As you can, Gary, at number 7 Rain Street in Caulfield South. A big family glamorous home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, the most incredible swimming pool, an alfresco area that you look out over the garden, the pool. That is about as good a family home as you can possibly get. That is a wonderful way to finish this episode of GPTV as we head into the last 4 weeks of the property market for the year, Gary. That's a wrap.
You still got time to sell this year, Phil. Don't shut us down too quickly. I know there's only 4 weeks of auctions, but there's some people just jumping in, private sale, forthcoming auctions, preview properties, off market. It's all happening. And now, 2026, Phil, we've got a nice selection of properties coming through, but we're looking for more. So if you're thinking of selling, hi, we'd love to help you. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode and edition of GPTV. We'll see you next week. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.